All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below. As usual, this video is entitled Amber Phillips Strikes Again. So I see the News One clip about her on the News One new TV TV One News with Roland Martin. And I look at it and I'm like, here you go. Here you go. And the problem that she has is she's a lesbian who's talking about rape culture and putting all men are rapists or potential rapists. And Roland Martin's like, yo, wait, what? No. No, you can't. No. All men are not rapists or potential rapists. That's not. No, absolutely not. And she's like, no, you don't understand. You know, you might not know that some of the things you did are part of rape culture. Like, yeah, I know that I'm not in rape culture, basically. But first and foremost, I would have to say, Roland Martin set the precedent for this when he was letting these women on his show, and just in general, the lesbians and the effeminate men who were getting on his show being disrespectful, cutting him off, or getting loud on television, acting real reckless. And then you see some of these people go on other shows with non-black hosts in there. I know how to have manners now. But if I go back to TV One, I'm gonna just disrespect the host on a regular basis because whatever. So because he's not kicking people off, or he's not saying, look, if you come here with that nonsense, we cutting your mic off and you getting out of here. We done. They've been allowed to go too far, and Amber Phillips has went too far so much that you can't fault her on TV One because they even let her host, knowing how reckless she was. So they've been rewarding this bad behavior. So that's one problem. The other problem I have with her and rape culture and her stance on feminism that she was basically pointing out in that interaction with Roland. She wants equality, but she doesn't want equality. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to be taken seriously. We want to have the same equal opportunities as men. And wait, time out. So you want to be able to get hired at 2-to-1 as men, but still want equality, right? Or 2-to-1 compared to black men. Because you're a double minority, right? You don't want equality and just say who's the better person, right? You don't want that. And all these guys are potential rapists. And I'm thinking to myself, a rapist or potential rapist. And I'm like, how is this? Where is this rhetoric coming from a lesbian? Like, if you're a lesbian, 9 times out of 10, you're in the LGBT community. So this culture you're talking about, is it more pervasive in your community or a heterosexual community? And another thing about it is, like brothers say, like Harvey Superboy 223 or Mr. Superboy 223, I'm sorry, would say, you always got to find a black equivalent. And the advice show would say, here we go with this nonsense, right? Because you can't just let what's going on with the Caucasian community happen without a feminist, and a black feminist in particular, trying to find a black equivalent. And that's a problem. Because if she want to say that black men especially participate in rape culture, here's a problem with the whole argument about this. You're using everything as rape culture. Hello can be rape culture. A hug can be rape culture. A conversation can be rape culture. You think, and using a little rhetoric from earlier this week or last week when Drea Michelle, whatever the lady's name is, that was on the Basketball Wives show, when she was on the internet talking about she's tired of helping her son with his homework, and him running over this speech and going to her about this speech that she has to sign for that he's doing and practicing is harassment. See, you can lump that into rape culture if you want to. Drea's son harassed her by asking her constantly to write on a piece of paper for his teacher at the school because he needed to do a speech. Why can't he just be a grown man in school and do his own thing and doesn't need his mother's signature and her parenting skills, because he shouldn't harass her? That's rape culture. Men harass women all the time. See what I'm saying? Like, it gets ridiculous. It can get that ridiculous. Like, they got on Drea for that, but a woman like Amber Phillips would do something like that. You don't see the problem with that. And I bring that up because she brought up Charlemagne the God said. It's funny. Like, y'all gotta look. Charlemagne said he didn't know he participated in rape culture. Let's get something right. I think Charlemagne's a smart dude, but I think Charlemagne is an opportunist. I think he's an instigator who knows he's instigating on both sides of the fence. He plays these games because he came up with Wendy Williams. So he's just causing trouble for people everywhere. When when people who try to keep it real until somebody keep it real with them, and then they don't know what to say. You know? So it's a problem because Charlemagne has said some really weird stuff over the years. But now all of a sudden, because it's convenient for you, Charlemagne is your go-to guy for men, for all men being rapists or attempting to harm women in rape culture. And then you turn around partially in that argument and say, y'all need our protection. How the hell? So let me get this right. All men are rapists or potential abusers, and black men in particular, but you need all of these men who you said are rapists and potential abusers to protect you. You just don't. So in that whole double talk, you lying, because you wouldn't ask a group of rapists to protect you because you wouldn't be able to trust them to protect you. Just saying. Even the thing with Roland, she said all men, everybody, including you, and Roland said, "Nuh-uh, not me." She turns around and says, "Why are you making this about you?" No, you made it about him. And then you just forgot. And this is one of the problems with people like this. They just say whatever, and they've been, they say whatever unchallenged. Unchallenged. Nobody says, yo, that's no. Something's wrong with that point of view. That point of view doesn't work too well. And it doesn't work for everybody. I was having this same conversation with my aunt over the weekend about the Hollywood thing and the Harvey Weinstein, and how I felt like, they're gonna try to put a black face on this to get all these white guys from some people looking at the pattern. Because this pattern really, if you really want to take it there, it doesn't start with Harvey Weinstein. You go, Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, Rush Limbaugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all forgetting those guys? Casey Affleck, y'all forgetting that? But you bring up Bill Cosby constantly, but you don't keep bringing up these other non-black guys constantly. You just forget it every time. And I was telling my aunt, one of the things that I have a problem with is, it seems like when non-black people do stuff, people's memory goes in an isolated incident. It never looks at the whole pattern, right? And she's like, well, I know what's going on right now. And I was like, that's the problem. If you just always focus on right now, you're not focusing on what they're planning to do in the future, or what they planned in the past that got you to the present that you are right in here to focus on right now. Everybody's not just living in the right now. And when you constantly live in the right now, you're constantly behind the curve instead of trying to think to get ahead of the curve. And I think people like Amber Phillips love this opportunism to jump on the bandwagon and stoke the flames while the fire is hot. But then, you know, when people say, you know what, these women are pimping rape culture. Because what is it? Rape by deception is part of can be used as that. You know, somebody had consensual sex with a person, and the person wakes up or thinks about it and feel like they got deceived to have sex, then they got raped because the person misrepresented themselves. And it's like, no, somebody just lied to you for sex, or they didn't lie to you and you just didn't like the situation. Well, they did lie. They told a half truth too. You could say that too. But unfortunately, with rape culture, that can only be men, right? Women can't rape by deception. Women can't really be involved in rape culture and all be potential abusers. And I find it odd that with all of this, all of these women getting caught using sexuality as a weapon that are not victims, that is going on simultaneously at the same time as these rape culture conversations. So when you say, oh, you know, it's not that many people who like, the numbers are vast at all the people who get raped, and the numbers are vast at all the people who don't report getting raped, and the numbers are very small of the people who lie about it. But you see, it doesn't look like that practically. It doesn't look like that publicly. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't. And then at the same time, you know, 1 in every 5 women speaks up about rape, and 1 in every 71 man speaks up about rape. So who's, you know, I'm just saying statistically, it looks like it's more worse for guys. I know I'm just saying it statistically because guys won't talk about stuff like that. But we get it. We do get women have who get raped have are dealing with something that should never have happened to them. But we also get you ladies are doing a disservice to people who actually are victims of sex crimes, because y'all are using their pain as a springboard for your opportunism, and everybody says you're dead wrong for that. And this is why, you know, this was part of the thing people was talking about with the Bill Cosby thing. This is part of the thing that people was talking about from now with the Me Too thing, because guess what? The black lady who really started Me Too, don't nobody care about her. She ain't really important enough. Got to put a white face on Me Too so we can get rid of her. So is that demeaning rape culture when you won't acknowledge the people who create things? And a bigger part about that is when people like Amber Phillips want to make everything black men or the scourge of the earth, how is it that if the evidence is in front of your face that we're not, on one end you're going to go hard to say we are, knowing that we're not, but on the other end you'll be sitting in the company of the people that's actually going to do you the most harm, and you won't complain if they do something to you. It's okay. It's par for the course. So it's like, I gotta, like, some of you, like you black feminists, you know, y'all cooning too. Y'all sellouts too. You know, y'all bed wenches. Y'all can be lesbian bed wenches who are in bed with feminism and white supremacy, because you always caping for both of them. And that's why I said she strikes again. because women like her it's got to be a black guy. It's Nate. What does Nate Parker have to do with any of this? Nothing. A guy who was acquitted? Nothing. But just like when a black guy gets acquitted, he's still guilty. But when white guys get probation when they were found guilty, we just gonna let that go. Black guy pays out. See, you know he did it. White guy pays out. I don't know. Y'all full of it. Full of it. You know. But that's just my opinion. We out.